It's Sunday, March 23rd, 2014. This is Neon and Beyond, now in its 20th year with Andy K. This morning, joining me is Councilman Steve Ross from Ward 6 in Centennial Hills. Good morning, Councilman.
Good morning, Andy.
And from the Boy Scouts of America, Silverado District Director Cameron Bomstad. Good morning, Cameron.
Good morning, Andy.
And also joining us, we got a full room today, Steph from 97.1 KXPT The Point. Hi, Steph.
Yes, good morning.
My cohorts here, early morning cohort. Now, we've got something going on this week, coming up Friday over at the Stratosphere. It's very, very interesting that Steph and I are involved with, along with Councilman Ross and benefiting the Boy Scouts. Who wants to jump in and tell us exactly what's going on?
Well, let me take a first shot here, Andy, if I can.
Sure.
I want your listeners to know that you guys are going to jump off the stratosphere, all to benefit Boy Scouts here in the inner city part of the city of Las Vegas. We have a program called Scout Reach that we raise money for every year and actually help fund some of these inner city scout units because, of course, number one, they can't afford it. Sometimes they have, one parent does no parents, so it's very challenging for us. But we want all those boys to experience the scouting experience. So every year we go out there and find high-profile people like you guys, celebrities like you guys. And
he got swamboozled.
We start raising money for this program, and then you get the opportunity to take that big step off the stratosphere, 855 feet.
855 feet?
Stephanie, you can do this.
Okay, wait. I was told I get a push, Andy, not jump.
We can arrange that,
Okay,
actually.
yay.
We can arrange that. We can blindfold him. We can put a hood over his head. We're easy.
And people can jump by going out, like, hey, I'm going to jump. Come and help me jump by donating, right?
They can. I'm going to let Cameron cover all those statistics in regards to how people can donate. And something very important I want to cover is every donation is tax deductible. So,
Right.
and we've got great corporate sponsors. 97 The Point, one of them. We appreciate your participation. We're going to have a great event this year at the Stratosphere on Friday morning. And with that, Andy, I'll hand it over to Cameron.
Yeah, as Councilman Ross stated, that these are all tax-deductible contributions, and for those who don't want to write a check and snail mail it to the Boy Scout office, you can jump online to lvacbsa.org. At the top of the website, there's a little icon that says 2014 Sky Jump for Scouting. Click on that icon. It'll pull up the flyer listing all of our sponsors, and then you can pick the individual you would like to. If it's Stephanie, if it's Andy, if it's Councilman Beers, you can click whoever you want, make a donation. I'm curious to see who's liked better in the city of Las Vegas, Andy or Stephanie.
That's a
so
challenge.
let's make it count.
I don't know who's going to be screaming louder, you or I.
That's a great challenge, Cameron.
That
That's
is a
great
good challenge. And I've been putting it out on Facebook, too. So if anyone out there wants to follow on Facebook, it's Steph Mackenzie. And then on Twitter at Steph Mackenzie 7, because people have been like, you're going to what? Now, how do you do this? I'm like, I know, you just jump. Really? You're just jumping? I'm jumping.
This thing has had such great community support.
I know.
This is our fourth year doing this. We've raised a ton of money for the Inner City Scouts for this program. And you know what we've also done? It's been great networking because we've included great corporate partners and community partners like you guys to do this with us. And anytime we have the opportunity to promote scouting, Boy Scouts in this community, these are our future leaders. Boy Scouts builds character. And we want every boy to have that opportunity to learn how to go camping, how to cook, how to sew, all those great things.
Absolutely. And I also, the city of Las Vegas, specifically the city of Las Vegas Fire and Police Department, outstanding job. Every year they have had people raise money and jump off the stratosphere for the Boy Scouts. No one, especially that the money that is donated goes to help boys, specifically in the Bolden Area Command. And this year, Captain Anarchy is jumping for Metro, which is fantastic. So we appreciate that. We appreciate the support that Sheriff Gillespie has shown us by always encouraging one of his officers to. I like to refer to it as the big step off the stratosphere, not the jump. Jump implying that you have to. When you step, that is by choice. So. But anyhow, it's a great event. We've got great people supporting us this year. Brad Harris, also from Southwest Gas, is jumping. Mark Schenk, who just recently retired for NV Energy, is going to jump off. Josh Tobin, who's one of our key sponsors as well with Tobin Auto Group. although Josh isn't jumping, I believe that he's got 2 of his outstanding salespeople that are going to take the big step again this year as well. So it's a community effort, but it goes to help the kids. And that's the thing I want to state is this money, all of it that is raised, goes directly to help these boys in these programs to make sure that they have the opportunity, just like every other kid in the city of Las Vegas, to be a Boy Scout.
Can you tell us about some of those programs? Because I'm curious as everything that the Boy Scouts do here in Las Vegas.
Well, scouting is just the scouting program in and of itself is a phenomenal program that teaches these young boys leadership. Teaches them to be responsible citizens, teaches them skills that they would not normally learn, certainly in school or sometimes at home. Right. And like I said, this is where this money gets funneled into these inner city areas where these Boy Scouts or these young boys don't have a lot of opportunity. So, we want them to go camping. We want them to experience the camping experience. We want them to freeze at night. We want them to get their hands dirty. We want them to scrape their knees. We want them to do great high adventure stuff too. We've got Del Webb Scout Camp, High Adventure Scout Camp in southern Utah is one of our scout camps. I remember being a boy, my first scout camp, 12 years old, going there and being scared out of my life. But when I got home, I was so excited and so proud of the things that I did. It was amazing. And I want, it's been great for my boys and my son-in-laws to learn all those things, to go through the scouting programs, but I don't want any boy to miss out on that opportunity to be scared for a moment and then learn from it and then grow stronger and bigger. And I think, in regards to the specifics of the programs, Cameron can address those better than I can. But I think it's important Cameron, you did it. You mentioned the sheriff. I got to tell you the story. First year we did this, the sheriff was one of my key targets to encourage to jump off the stratosphere for the sky jump for scouting. So I went into his office, I sit down with him, I explained this whole thing to him, and then I said, and I want you to jump off the stratosphere. There was a pause, and you could hear a pin drop in his office. And he reached over and put his hand on his gun, and he says, there's the door.
That's awesome.
But since then, he has been an absolute sponsor, sponsoring one of his officers. We do have Captain Ankeny from the gang unit is jumping, and I think he's excited about it. So and a couple other guys. It's funny. Josh Tobin Automotive Group has been a corporate sponsor with us since we started. And it's funny. Last year, and Cameron will remember this. 2 guys show up, right? And I'm looking at them saying, "Who are you guys with?" Well, we're with Tobin Automotive, and all we know is we were supposed to come here and meet you. And I said, "Oh, great! Get your suit on. You're jumping off the stratosphere." Both of their faces went white.
And that's the unique thing is Scouts does, and that's the way I like to refer to it. We do in scouting. It is, people go, well, he scraped his knee. Next time he'll learn he won't run on the rocks. It's a learning experience for everybody. And I can share a quick story about that. Not only is it the fun and the adventure side of it, it teaches kids life skills. And my son and his really good friend, scout leader, unfortunately, his scout leader had a heart attack. And if it wouldn't have been for these 2 young men remaining calm and knowing exactly what to do and picking up the phone, and one of them kept the leader calm and relaxed, and the other one called the ambulance and told them everything that was going on. So when the ambulance showed up, they literally were there for like 30 seconds, threw him on the stretcher in the ambulance, and he was gone. We get to the hospital, we're talking to everyone, and they said, well, part of the reason that he was in great physical shape to begin with, but by the time the paramedics knew, they knew exactly what was going to happen, what was wrong, what they needed to do on the way to the hospital. It's those life skills that kids don't realize that they picked up, but when the instant hit, they had forgot everything except for what they learned about advanced first aid.
That is
Hence,
great.
it can help.
That is great. I grew up as a Cub Scout and a Boy Scout in Chicago. And you talk about, Councilman, about the camping trip. Here's a kid that's never been out of the city limits, and I'm jumping on the bus with all my fellow Cub Scouts, and we go camping for a weekend. It was out in the country. We went to Wisconsin, and it was just such for me, I was 11, 12 years old at the time, and it was just truly a remarkable experience being out there, and you're actually hearing the sounds of the forest and not, the L train going by and the traffic out there. And there's no street lights out there. It was pitch black. Oh, my gosh, I've never been anywhere this dark in my life, and and but it was truly a great experience. Learned how to camp, learned how to cook out there, learned how to set up camp, a tent. This is all stuff that boys being boys, run around the dirt, you're rolling around, you're getting dirty, and just exploring, and that was just such a great time for me at that time in my life, and all the other kids that were with us. Just truly remarkable. And every Tuesday we met at the church, in the church basement, and just we're earning our badges and just learning new life skills as we went along. And it's as you said, Councilman, every kid has got to experience this.
They do. And think about for a moment that single mom that is struggling to keep, number one, to keep a roof over the kids' heads, and then struggling to make sure that they've got food on the table and clothes on their back, and then recognizing a program that affords her young boy the opportunity to go camping, to learn those skills, to leave the city limits and actually experience the mountains, the forest, the desert, the lake. I mean, canoeing, rappelling, zip lining. I mean, all that great stuff that, a lot of these inner city kids will never, ever experience. We are working hard to make sure they can.
And you hit a good point, Andy, is if anyone wants to get their son, age 7, first grade, through age 20, and people don't realize girls can be Boy Scouts too, beginning at age 14 in our venture program, and go camping, hiking, canoeing, swimming, all the same stuff the boys get to do.
And sometimes the girls are better.
They are, but I wasn't going to say that.
Some are a little tougher than others.
But contact the Boy Scout office. Again, you can go to the lvacbsa.org website or call down to the Boy Scout office. Would love to find a program in your neighborhood to get your son involved in. In the valley of the city of Las Vegas, there are over 1,000 scout programs for you to choose from. We can find one in your neighborhood. Great time, great leaders. Your boys will have absolute blast.
Yeah, this may be the first time, Andy and Stephanie, that folks have even heard of some of these programs that the Las Vegas Area Council of Boy Scouts does. So Cameron hit it right on the head. If there's folks out there that want to get their boys involved or their girls, contact the Scout office. We'll get you in touch with the right people, or you can certainly call my office at City Hall, 702-229-6154. Again, that's 702-229-6154. Go to LasVegasNevada.gov if you want to find me and email me. Or
your new fun way of getting a hold of you.
Or you can reach me on Twitter at Steve Ross LV.
And he totally responds. It's great.
And I do. Yes, I do. And that's probably the easiest route to go. So if you've got, if you're a parent out there listening, or you're a boy and wanting to get involved, why don't you contact us and we'll get you going, and you're going to have a great time.
As a new parent, what about if I'm a parent that wants to get involved and help as well, not just...
Absolutely. Scouting is built on volunteers, and all of our scouting units have volunteer adult leaders. So if you'd like to participate as an adult leader, you can certainly do that and get involved, because we've got some incredible adult leaders who volunteer their time for the benefit of these scouts.
And you do have to do a little bit of a background, right? Because I know I help at my church in the Sunday school program and stuff like that. Because you don't just show up and then just do something. Some people have a misconception about that as well.
That's absolutely correct. Anyone who we want leaders,
right?
But anyone who volunteers, there's a form that you have to fill out. It's an adult leader application. And then anyone who steps forward and wants to be an adult leader, then the Boy Scouts of America does a background check to make sure that we don't have people wanting to be involved for the wrong reasons. But we do want leaders. This organization here in the Valley thrives on the 6,000 leaders that provide programs to over 20,000 kids.
Yeah, I'm not immune to that
awesome.
either. I have to go through that background check too, and I am a board member, and I've been pretty well vetted in this community, having grown up here, but I still have to go through that process too.
I just always think that that's something that, we hear so many things in the news, but remember, great programs like Boy Scouts of America are looking not only for boys to come out and do great things and help them inner city and all over, but we need great volunteers. So don't be scared.
Great moms like you, Steph. Great moms like you.
I don't know, but thank you. I'm just starting.
In case you're just tuning in this morning, this is Neon and Beyond, now in its 20th year, serving the community of Las Vegas and the surrounding areas. My guests are Councilman Steve Ross from Ward 6, serving Centennial Hills area. And my other guest is Cameron Bomstead, Silverado District Director with the Boy Scouts of America. And we're talking about the upcoming Sky Jump 2014?
Yep, Sky Jump for Scouting 2014. And again, Councilman Ross had stated this is our 4th year. And I need to thank the Stratosphere Casino Hotel and Tower. Without their support, this event would have never happened. I know they do a lot of great things for a lot of great organizations, and we just appreciate their support and supporting us as we let people take the big step off the stratosphere, and just really appreciate it.
Now, here's a highlight for everybody listening. I think I've persuaded Councilman Bob Coffin, who represents the downtown, to jump off the stratosphere.
He should.
He should, because this directly affects the kids in his area that he represents, and he's excited about it. And if anybody wants to participate, it's not too late. What I think Cameron and I really want to know is who can raise the most money between Andy and Stephanie. So go to give that number
Go
again.
to lvacbsa.org. Click on the 2014 jump icon at the top. It'll take you to it. Then you can just follow the prompts through, and you can donate right online. So
if I raise more money than Andy, I'll do like an aerial jump thing. Like I'll jump up and try and do like a hey with
I think you should jump twice. Whoever raises the most money gets to jump twice.
Get crazy,
Now,
Councilman.
my wife jumped twice last year, and she loved it, but she likes that stuff.
I misspoke. I meant to say Councilman Bob Coffin earlier, not Beers, but that's okay.
Yeah, I hit them all up. Trust me, I hit the entire city
too.
council up. Councilman Barlow's been dogging me since we started this program. So, folks, if you're listening and you know Councilman Barlow, shoot him an email, pick up the phone, and say, Councilman Barlow, you need to jump off the stratosphere for scouting.
And the other one that you need to shoot an email, even though he's not on the council side, is Commissioner Weekly, because this covers his area as well.
There you go, Commissioner Lawrence Weekly.
And if you tell him which bus was it, tell him it was the RTC bus that just came by with the Boy Scouts driving it. So
this is a challenge to the community to reach out to these guys.
I think we should do it for everyone.
Get these guys to help out. This is the official challenge then to those public officials.
I mean, I really am a bit nervous. I have jumped out of a plane. I love heights. But for some reason, I'm scared of the stratosphere. I'm scared of that. Everyone comes to town. Let's go to the stratosphere. I swear to God, all of my friends and family, the first thing they do, they want to go. They want to drive by. They get nervous. They get whatever. But
now when you take them, though, Steph, you can say, I jumped off the stratosphere.
But I'm nervous. Like, why? How can I jump out of a plane, but now I'm nervous to do this? That's why I'm making Andy do it with me.
I don't understand. You jump out of a plane, but you're not afraid to jump the strat. I'm afraid of heights. And last year, I tried to conquer this by rappelling down Planet Hollywood to benefit Special Olympics. Yep. And I thought, let me try and conquer my fears as I get older. I'm still a work in progress.
but you did it, though, Andy.
I did it. Yes, I did do it. It was a great experience, and I'm looking forward to experiencing this next Friday at the Stratosphere.
You're going to have a blast.
What about little Andy? Your son.
My son says to me, he says, Dad, I want to jump off the stratosphere. I said, oh, yeah, really, you do. Huh? That's nice to hear, son. Okay, here, eat your dinner. But, something he wanted to do, and I mentioned this to him. I said, well, let me go experience this, and I'll get back to you, see, maybe I can bring him with me.
Do you have to be a certain age to jump?
The stratosphere does require the minimum age is age 14. You have to be 14 or older to jump, and right now we've got 20 people confirmed that are wanting to jump or said they will raise money to jump. But if someone's got a burning desire and can raise the dollar per foot and bring that down, and by the way, it's 855 feet, so that's $855. We will make arrangements for you to donate that to the Boy Scouts, so it's tax deductible, and then we'll suit you up and take you up the big elevator, and you can jump off the stratosphere, and then I'll take the perfectly fine elevator back down to the bottom. So,
yeah, Cameron and I both jumped off the stratosphere, so we've experienced that. And as terrifying as it was,
I'm
Stephanie,
sweating already.
And as terrifying as it was an incredible experience. Yes, my heart stopped for the first 20 feet, and after that, I'm like, this is kind of cool. Really? And then they slowed me down. I stood up and walked away. It was a piece of cake.
Wow.
So is it like from the top to the bottom?
855 feet.
To where you would walk into the...
You know where the restaurant is?
Yes.
The restaurant's at 875 feet, and right below the restaurant is the platform where you get harnessed up. They lock you all in with all the safety gear, and you walk out, and then the door closes behind you. And once the door closes, they just kind of sit there and watch you until you decide to go. And you can knock on the door, and they just look at you like, okay, that's nice, but there's only one way down at this point.
They can't come back in.
And I'll share this with you. Tina Quigley, the general manager of the Regional Transportation Commission, jumped last year and raised her own money and did the whole 9 yards. And it's funny because when we were expecting her to come, they were doing the countdown. 3, 2, 1. Here comes Tina. She didn't come. Okay,
Oh,
3,
no.
2, 1. Here comes Tina. She eventually did it and overcame that fear, Andy. She did it. I mean, she was a rock star. And anybody that's participated in the past 3 years, you're all rock stars out there because you've helped contribute to a fabulous program and you've overcome a challenge in your life. Andy, you're going to love it.
I'm really looking forward to it.
I'm still freaking out.
Councilman Ross, who's the new North Las Vegas Fire Chief? Jeff Lytle.
Jeff Lytle, my good friend Jeff Lytle, new North Las Vegas Fire Chief, retired from the Henderson Fire Department, I've reached out to him also to jump off the stratosphere.
I got confirmation that Jeff was going to jump again this year as well. Past jumpers include Jeff Shaw, President and CEO of Southwest Gas. Mayor Andy Hafen took
Andy
the big
Hafen.
step
Mayor
the first year from the city
Mayor
of
Hafen.
Henderson.
Commissioner June Kiliani.
Commissioner June Jelly.
First year, we've had a lot of great high-profile people in the community support this program.
So again, we're on a platform and we're jumping to the bottom.
Steph, it's called OCD, and yes, they can help you with that.
Wait, I was just excited that Councilman Ross had a Twitter account. I'm like, sure, whatever you want to do. Now I'm like, we're what?
We're doing what?
Let me get this straight. We're jumping off a platform. Listen, this was mentioned 5 minutes ago. Now let me get this straight. We're jumping off a platform. Steph.
You know, it is so much fun. And again, I know Cameron's mentioned them to our corporate sponsors. You guys this year helping us as a corporate sponsor. Stratosphere's been a fabulous partner in this event. All of these high-profile individuals throughout the community, Tobin Automotive Group, just everybody that's participated. Yesco Young Electric Sign Company. I mean, Cameron, you can go on the list, several names that I'll forget.
Vector Media has helped in the past. List of individuals is we've had almost 100 people in 4 years jump off the stratosphere to help the Scouts raise money. So it's just a fantastic
all the media
event.
outlets have been very good, too, covering that jump with their helicopters in the morning, certainly during traffic or weather.
Let's make sure we know when Andy's jumping to put him on the morning news.
We will know exactly when, and I'm going to reach out and challenge all of our television stations to get their helicopters over there for the morning commute and morning weather.
With that being said, then, Andy, you need to be there at 6:30 so we can have you suited up because we'll make sure that you are at the top of the building because – not that I'm all knowledgeable, but other TV stations, right before they switch to the national broadcast at 7, I'll do a cut-in, and maybe we can get one of them to do a cut-in and catch Andy as he turns Snow White coming off the top of the stratosphere.
Sweating profusely.
and they do have those male diapers, I think, that are available.
Yeah, Sarah Goose is always plugging those things. Yes. And I might have to go and invest in a package of those babies. You know?
I love it.
Once again, just tuning in, this is Nan and Beyond, and you want some more information about scouting, more information about Sky Jump for Scouting 2014, you can go to the website lvacbsa.org. You can donate to your favorite jumper. You can find out, parents, you can find out about scouting for your children. If you want to become a volunteer, you can go to the website. It has all the information, all the answers to all your questions about scouting, getting involved as a parent, or getting your child and yourself involved at the same time. By all means, please go to lvacbsa.org for all the information that we're talking about today and even more on the website.
Right. As we talked about Young Electric Sign Company, also known in the Valley as Yesco.
Yeah.
It's funny, John Williams, who's the incoming he's our president for our local Boy Scout Council board, isn't jumping, but his wife, Marva, said, I would love to do that. And we all looked at her and she goes, is there something wrong with that? Absolutely not, Marva. So Marva Williams is jumping, and it's going to be a good jump. And she's excited about it. Last year, kind couple guys from Yesco jumped, and that was a neat thing. The hard part with that, most of those guys live on a crane just with a little dinky safety line, so I'm not sure that the fear had anything to do with it. But now that it's a bucket list thing, I've done it, I can knock it off my list. But
and those are the challenging jumpers, Cameron, because remember we had Las Vegas Fire and Rescue, one of our deputy chiefs jump, and for him it was nothing. I mean, he just walked up there, harnessed up, and left, and came down and said, "Okay, I got to go back to work." I'm like, "Dude, weren't you a little kind of scared?" He goes, "Heck no, I do this all day long." And I'm like, wow, those are special people. I mean, my wife included. Kelly, she jumped twice last year, and I'm thinking, you got to be nuts. And I remember the camera was on her, and one of the helicopters had her, and she's on the edge waiting to jump. I mean, just bouncy. I'm thinking, it takes a special person to be that way. So my hat's off to those guys who have no fear.
And hats off to you and Steph.
Yeah.
I appreciate this,
definitely.
Andy. You and Stephanie stepping up and doing this for the kids.
So let me get this straight.
Stephanie, you can do this.
Well, we're all about community here at Lotus Broadcasting. This program, is 20 years old this year, and it's all about the community and helping out the kids and helping out adults, or giving a voice to nonprofit organizations who otherwise would not have one. But this is all what we do. We all come together and as all threads, making one huge piece of fabric in our community, and just trying to help out anyone and everyone that is in need, or is trying to raise funds for the kids, give an opportunity to kids who might not have that opportunity to become a Cub Scout or a Boy Scout. And this is where individuals like Councilman Ross comes in, and Steph from the Point comes in, and all of community leaders step in and step up to help those who might not have this opportunity for such a great experience to be had in becoming a Boy Scout.
Good point.
So once again, we're going to go. We got a few minutes left here. I want to plug the website. It is www.lvacbsa.org. Go there, find everything and all you want to know about scouting, getting your child involved, getting yourselves involved, moms and dads. Yes, about a third of the scouts are women. It says so on the website, and Steph wants to get involved. It's a very easy process. And dads, you have some weekends free. You want to volunteer. It'd be a father-son type of thing, or it'd be mother and son type of thing. And even the girls can get involved too. Now, you were saying, Cameron.
Absolutely. Through the venturing side. As a matter of fact, we have got a group that is going up to Manitoba, Canada this summer, canoeing out of Bassett High Adventure Canoe Base. And the group is 50-50, boys and girls.
Wow.
And actually, one of the principals of one of our local schools, she is one of the crew leaders that is going along. So she's taken 14 days to be the female leader with this group to go truck through the mosquito-infested wilderness of northern Manitoba. My hat's off to them.
Yeah, no kidding.
Well, I think that this is a great opportunity next Friday. Everybody come out in the morning at the Stratosphere, not only to find out more about the Boy Scouts of America right here in Las Vegas, all the money we're raising next week. You can come up and donate. You can go to the website. We're giving you all that information. But I mean, to see how awesome this community is. If you haven't done something like this, if you haven't seen this, it's another opportunity and a time for different people, different folks to come and see this.
Yeah.
And again, the money stays right here, which is
it
awesome.
stays right
But
here.
most importantly, it's the platform that Stephanie's going to be standing on. That's at 855
Isn't it more importantly
feet.
the harness that will be holding both Andy and Stephanie?
Yeah, I mean, there is a lot of junk in this trunk.
Andy, let me say this too. Congratulations, 20 years, Neon and Beyond on the air. I say that because it seems like just yesterday when I heard you started doing this, and I'm thinking, boy, time flies when you're having fun.
It sure does, and I'm blessed to have this opportunity to help out the community and inform the community and get everybody involved in our community, because this is what we are all about.
Well, you're one of those community leaders. I call them tribal leaders, because you're getting the message out there and you're sharing great stuff with our community.
Thank you very much. I've enjoyed it and will continue to enjoy it. All right, we got about a minute left, everyone. Once again, I want to give out the website. It is the website is www.lvacbsa.org. You go to that website. It'll give you information on the jump, jumping off the stratosphere next Friday. You want to become a sponsor. You want to become a volunteer. You want to get your children involved, boys and girls, involved with scouting here in Las Vegas. And there are so many scouting areas available, districts, you call them there, Cameron, that there's one in your area. So don't worry about, it's crosstown or anything like that. No, there's one in your area. Just go to lvacbsa.org to find a location near you.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Camden Bombstead, De Silverado District Director of the Boy Scouts of America, and Ward 6 Councilman Steve Ross, serving Centennial Hills area, and Steph from 97.1 The Point.
Hey, Steph!
Yeah, go to the website, Team Steph.
Yay, Team Steph.
And if you want to...
Team Andy.
Yeah,
I got to promote you both.
Go to AndyK923 on Twitter or Andy at comp.com on Facebook. If you want to help me out, I could sure use
That was a humble request, wasn't it, Andy?
some support, man. Really. All right, that does it for this week's edition of Neon and Beyond. If you have any comments or questions, you can drop me a line, Andy at lvradio.com.